right, we're on Keilim, Perek Kaf Vav, Mishnah Aleph. First Mishnah in the 26th chapter of Masechet Keilim. We're going to talk about leather, all kinds of leather garments and Keilim and utensils and vessels, and how they're Makabel Tuma, whether they're Makabel Tuma. We've seen some of them, and many of them we have not. Sandal Imki. Okay, a sandal means a shoe. Sandal is a shoe. Imki, that's made in Kfar Imki. So of course everybody knows what a sandal Imki is. It's like I told you, a boat shoe. Everybody would know what that is, but we don't. It's a kind of shoe, as we're going to see, that you just sort of lace it up. Otherwise, it's a flat piece of leather. The kis shel shnatzot. Okay, a kis is like a pocket or a pouch of shnatzot. Shnatzot, he says, ritzuot techuvot belulaot. They are straps that are pushed into, that are forced into loops. Bisvat kis, on the edge of the pouch. And you pull them one way or the other, and then the pouch closes. So this is a sandal imki, right? It's just a piece of leather, and this is the kis, and this is the kis of shnatzot, meaning you have these loops, kind of like belt loops, and you put the straps through it, and then when you tie it, so therefore when you let it go, when you end up with sort of is like an open piece of leather. So it doesn't really have a shape without the straps. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, af kfifa mitzvit. Even a kfifa mitzvit. A kfifa mitzvit is not made of leather, but rather it's a sal asui mitzurei adaka. It's made. There's this basket that's made from the shapes of the palm tree, of the palm leaves. You bring the different branches, and the hutzim are twigs. You tear them and you make chutim. You make sort of like straps. You make this kfifa. Now, the way I understood it, the way my other book described it, it's like a basket where it's all kind of like held together by one string, like similar to the sandal and the kis of shnatzot, this pouch. Shimon Gamliel says, "Af sandal ladiki ki yotze behem." Same thing's true of this sandal ladiki. Sandal ladiki is from the people of Lidikaya. So he says, the sandal ladiki. Of course, it's very similar because we all know what that means. You don't need an uman, you don't need a craftsman in order to do work on it. I mean, normally if I have a kli, right, if I want to make it, if it's tameh and I want to make it tahor, so I have to break it down. I have to cut it open and then remake it or whatever. But normally, not for glass, I guess, but I could tovel it, or I could break it. But if I have a piece of leather and I want to, it's tameh, so, and I have to remake it. So the way I remake it is I take it apart. But here, it's not true. I don't need to, because if I take out the straps, then it's just a flat piece of leather. As the Bartender says, okay? They have these ritzuot that don't have to be tied on. Rather, you motech means you draw pressure. Rather, you pull the straps, and then they're closed on their own, and they open up on their own. That's how you do it. If you undo them, we're going to see to what degree in the next Mishnah. You can't, if you undo them to such a degree that you can no longer, they're totally undone. Then it's no longer a kli. That's just a flat piece of leather. Okay. Then tehorim. Okay. And Rabbi Yossi says. So we leave Rabbi Yossi for a second. Rabbi Yossi, no. You could say the same thing about every kli. I mean, I don't need an uman to, if I have my shoe and I want to rip it apart, I can take it apart. If I want to sew it together, I could sew it together without a shoemaker. It won't be a good job, but I could do it. Aval elu, afapisha mutarim, all of these, even though they're untied, tameim, they're still tamei. Shahaydiot yachol achziram, because all these things, right? In uman, if I rip up my shoe and only a craftsman a shoemaker can put it together, that's one thing. But here, if I take out the straps, I can put it back together again. So he says that's still a kli. But lo amru, they only said this rule, okay, that are of untiedness, el b'kfifa mitzvit, with this kfifa means this mitzvit basket. She'afa uman eino yachol achzira. Once you untie the basket, once you undo the basket, even a craftsman can't put it together. You ruined it, and then it's no longer tameh. So I just point out, Rab Posen, in his drawing, you can see he describes this kfifa mitzvit as kind of a basket, but he says it's kind of like a pouch too, okay? That's tied together. It's not a leather pouch, but it's sort of like he said it's not even a cloth pouch, but it was a material that they made out of these strings and these twigs that falls apart. I thought it was kind of a basket. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. If you know, send me an email or a WhatsApp, rspalter@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me. Join the WhatsApp group, bit.ly/Daily Mishnah. We'll dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harab Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.